there. So glad you're here. You know how a smell like a fresh cut wood or baking bread or even pine needles or fresh flowers can trigger some emotions and memories? Well, today we're going to talk about how you harness those aromas in order to rewire your brain and enable you to choose joy. Hi, I'm Diane LaFoon, and I'm here with your Joy Tip of the Week. And I'd love to know where you're tuning in from and what you're smelling right now. What kind of aromas are in the room where you are watching from right now? Let us know. I actually have a diffuser running right here, and it has lemon essential oil and rosemary essential oil in it. And if you look up, there are studies on both of those oils as to why I might be diffusing those at my desk. I'll tell you about that more sometime. But right now, let's talk about how we can harness aromas to benefit us emotionally, to help our brain as well. There's actually three ways that aromas work with your brain. And the first is that aromas can trigger positive memories. For example, when I think of baking bread, I am just taken right back to my childhood kitchen on Jennings Street in Petoskey, Michigan, a little house over there where my mom would bake bread weekly, actually. She would bake bread all the time, and I knew it was bread baking day when I smelled those great aromas, and I knew it was going to be a good day just because she just put so much love into it, and it just takes me back to fond childhood memories. Another aroma that I love is pine needles. I don't know if you have any experience from where you are with smelling the aroma of pine needles, but when I smell pine, when I experience that aroma, I am right back on a snowmobile with my daddy when I was a girl, just riding through the woods and even walking, taking a break and walking around, crunching in the snow, and just experiencing the areas that just weren't inhabited at all in northern Michigan in my childhood. And that is just a wonderful smell that brings me right back to riding the snowmobile with my dad when I was a girl. So those are some things that my memories get triggered by. And I'd love to know some of the memories that are triggered by smells for you. So the reason this happens is it because of your five senses, your sense of smell is the only one that's tied directly to the emotional center of your brain. When you inhale any kind of aroma, that olfactory bulb in your sense of smell just goes right to that emotional center of your brain. And so smells are very often tied directly to memories and emotions. In fact, research has shown that the effect of aromatic compounds on the sense of smell can exert very strong effects on your brain, especially on your aromas. So first of all, inhaling aromas can change your mood, because if you inhale an aroma that brings back one of those wonderful positive memories, that can uplift you and change your mood and give you a more positive outlook. The second way that inhaling aromas and smelling great things can help your brain and change your mood and give you more joy is that it can help actually release negative emotions. There are many books out there about how to use aromas and scents to release traumatic experiences and negative emotions. And sometimes if you're averse to a particular aroma, that can be tied to a negative experience, a negative memory that needs to get released and needs to be just taken out of that memory in your brain. And so it can actually be quite an unpleasant response if it's an emotion that is not negative and not pleasant. But they do say that, and there are books written on this subject, that smelling aromas can bring that emotional release where you can actually let go of that trauma and that negative memory. And so there's a common misconception that emotional release, you have to relive this experience all over again, and it's a terrible experience and very, very much not something you want to go through again. But actually, many people that I talk to talk about how releasing that trauma or that emotional negative memory by using aromatherapy, it is aromatherapy after all, can actually be a peaceful experience and a lightening of your burden. And it doesn't have to make you go through that experience again and relive it, but it helps you to release that negative emotion. Third, inhaling aromas like essential oils can actually give you new pathways in your brain. If you want to be sure you remember something, then you'll want to use certain aromas. Like, for example, I said I have lemon essential oil and rosemary essential oil going in my diffuser right now. And that's because both of those have studies showing that things are easily more memorized. They come to mind more quickly when you use those aromas in a classroom setting, in a study setting, in a work setting where you need to remember things. And so that's why I have that going in my diffuser right now. Another thing that I like to do is when I'm reading scripture, when I want to make sure that that implants on me and imprints on my brain, I like to diffuse essential oils or inhale them, use them aromatically in some way, because when you smell, especially some of the aromas from the ancient scriptures time, you'll find all kinds of mentions of aromas throughout scripture, and it just takes me back there. It feels like I'm right there, walking with Jesus, reading His Word when I read Scripture and have that added benefit of that aroma. You know, one of the oils that I have come across recently from Scripture is called hyssop, and whenever I smell that hyssop, I think back to the verse in Psalm 51 where David is just lamenting his sin with Bathsheba, and he talks about how, please, God, cleanse me with hyssop, and I will be whiter than snow. And that reminds me, when I smell hyssop, that my sins are washed whiter than snow because the Lord can cleanse us. And hyssop is one of the things that they used back in biblical times to do that cleansing. And so that's why it's mentioned in Psalm 51. Other things that you can want to imprint on your brain or make memorable are things like family gatherings. One of the oils that I love to diffuse or have going during family gatherings is an oil called Harmony. It's a blend of oils. It's something that creates harmony and balance in the room. And that smell, that aroma also helps me to remember and lock on to those great memories of family gatherings. So 3 reasons that essential oils, when they're inhaled and the smell and the scent is a part of your experience, is beneficial to your brain and to those memories. 1, it can bring back positive memories, which is a good thing. It can lift your mood. 2, it can help you release those emotional memories that are maybe negative or traumatic experiences. And 3, it can actually establish new pathways and create new memories tied to those aromas. So, what are some of the ways that you can use these essential oils aromatically? Well, the first is just to actually take it right from the bottle and inhale it this way. Doesn't cost a thing just to open the bottle and breathe in. And this is Stress Away, another oil that I keep right here at my desk for obvious reasons. It's got a lime and vanilla and copaiba blend to it, and it just smells great. So my favorite way to use essential oils aromatically is to not only just take it and breathe it from the bottle, but just to let it, 1 drop just fall into your hand. I got to make sure you can see here. And then you want to rotate your hands, rub them together in a clockwise motion. That kind of goes along with the way the molecules are spinning in the essential oil, so that's a good idea. And then you take them, you cup them over your nose and mouth, and breathe in through your nose very deeply. And why do you do this? You know, it's funny. I was doing a workout this last week, and the guy on the video that was cheering me on with my, I have a stationary bike, he was saying, breathe in through your nose, inhale through your nose, out through your mouth. And the reason he was saying this is because when we inhale through our nose, we actually breathe more deeply. We get more into the bottom of our lungs. And it's more shallow breath when we breathe through our mouth. So that's why it's good to breathe through your nose. So when you inhale that essential oil through your nose like that, then it's going straight to that emotional center of your brain, and it's also going deep into your lungs, and it gets to your bloodstream that much faster. It goes right from your lungs into your bloodstream. It doesn't have to pass through any digestive system. It doesn't have to pass through your skin. It goes straight into your bloodstream. And so that's why that's a good practice of just breathing an essential oil, just 1 drop straight from your hand on a regular basis. Plus, we don't breathe deeply enough as a society. We need to breathe deeply more often, and I've talked about that before. So secondly, the other way another way to enjoy those benefits is to have a diffuser like this. There's many different kinds of diffusers out there. Young Living has a great array of diffusers. If you'd like some input on which diffuser to buy, I'd be glad to help you out with that. And diffusing oils, what it does is it takes this fine aromatic mist and it puts it into the air. I know people will ask, well, it's in water. Doesn't it like get your desk all wet and everything? No, it's just this fine ultrasonic plate that makes the oil into a fine mist. It doesn't make stuff wet. It just actually humidifies the air a little bit too, and it puts those particles of oil into the air and just creates a great aroma. So now I've got lemon, rosemary, and stress away that I'm breathing here. It smells real good down here. So diffusing essential oils actually alters the structure of the molecules that create odors too. So you're not just covering up any odors that are around you, you're actually altering them so that they no longer smell at all. It's a little different than using a room freshener or something like that. So essential oils are a great way, diffusing them, to create a great atmosphere and a great aroma in your room that lasts all day long as well. So there are other ways to enjoy aromas aromatically. You can put an essential oil on a cotton ball and put it in your vents of your car, of your home. And then when your furnace blows or when your car vent blows, you'll experience that essential oil as well. You can make a spray bottle of essential oils with water and just spray it around your room as you would a room air freshener. We've got some great recipes for those that I can share with you if you'd like. And then there's some great places on Etsy where you can get essential oil diffuser jewelry. And I didn't wear any today. Isn't that interesting? I should have worn one of my diffuser necklaces because those are fun too. You just, smell it all day long. Also, wearing essential oils as a cologne or perfume throughout the day. A lot of times I'll put it in my hair, and then when I touch my hair or do something with my hair and it moves, I'll smell that oil all throughout the day. You can put it to your wrists, your neck, your chest, just like you would any other cologne or perfume, and it's going to be that good smell all day long, just to remind you whatever you want to connect to that aroma with that essential oil. So enjoy all those good smells. Find ways to connect new things to those smells. Find ways to release those negative emotions with those aromas. And just know that you can choose joy by taking different steps in your life to get rid of the bad and find new pathways in your brain and new emotions. You'll have the opportunity to uplift your mood, release negative emotions, and then create new memories and new pathways in your brain as well. So I want to tell you, be sure and mark your calendar for next week. I have a big announcement for our Joy Tip of the Week next week, and I'm very excited about it. And I'd love to have you here join me live so that we can all get excited about it together. So join me noon Eastern Time, Tuesday of next week, and we'll have a big Joy Tip of the Week announcement for you. I hope you guys will all tune in, and we'll see you next week.